Good morning, Namasté. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday so far, and that it's about to get better. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are family. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. In my heart. You are the face of God. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Kong, for that beautiful song. I look forward to hearing more from
Hope
you
everyone's
shortly.
having a great day. Face of God, beautiful song to get us started.
It is. It is. So, welcome everyone to Namasté Center for Spiritual Living. This is the time that we take a collective deep breath. I invite you to do that with me for our meditation. And so we turn away from the outer and go within. Just take a few slow, deep breaths in through your nose, slowly exhaling through your mouth. Let your mind become still and your thoughts come to rest. See all that is in self-forgetfulness. Feel yourself begin to relax. See yourself on a sparkling white sandy beach. It's early in the morning and there's a light, hazy mist surrounding you. The sun is rising and you feel the warm orange glow on your face and body. The moisture in the air caresses your skin. You hear water lapping at the shore. You are content and at ease. The beach is deserted and you are free to stroll at your own pace down to the water's edge. You are completely relaxed as you walk along the water, and you come up to a boat. It is tied to the shore with a strong rope. You get into the boat and notice it is comfortable and steady. You untie the rope, and the current allows you to drift smoothly and safely. You trust Spirit is guiding this journey, and you relax even more deeply. The sun is high in the sky now, and the rays dissolve the mist to reveal a tiny island that you are being carried toward. Sparkling ocean water moves you closer to this island that is covered with tropical palm trees that sway in the breeze. Your boat comes to rest now on the shore, and you get out. You stop to appreciate the sublime beauty before you. You hear the call of exotic birds in the distance and notice the brilliantly colored flowers. The air seems to vibrate with pure luminous energy. In this place, you are free from memories of the past. You are free from anxiety about the future. You are free from all responsibilities. This is a place of total peace. You observe a clearing in the brush and you approach. Peering in, you see there's a path that leads into this tropical, lush forest. You enter the path, feeling an energy guiding you that is both nurturing and safe. You reach a pond of shimmering, clear, crystal clear water. It is perfectly still, like a mirror, free from the slightest ripple. As each moment passes, the world around you becomes more and more serene. You are still and at rest. All is calm. Your thoughts simply melt away. You feel timeless, vast, empty, and free. For the next few seconds, pause to enjoy the solitude and the inner silence. And when it's time to go home, I will guide you. Slowly bring your awareness back to the pond before you. You are refreshed and rejuvenated. You pause and take in the wonder of this place. And you turn to go back through the forest, noticing that the breeze has returned and you can hear the gentle sway of the palm trees as you casually make your way back to the shore. You sense an energy beckoning you home. You trust this energy, spirit. You feel comfortable and safe as you emerge from the forest onto the beach, where you see your boat just where you left it. You walk to the water's edge, feeling serene and at peace. You know spirit is the boat bringing you home safely. You step in and notice the steadiness of spirit. Your journey home is safe and effortless. You relax and allow spirit to guide you home. You arrive at the beach sensing deep peace and gratitude to be home. You leave the boat and turn to catch a glimpse of the island, but it has disappeared from view, just as you knew it would, because you are home now, home to your truth. So I welcome you back into your bodies now. Feel yourself being supported. Take a deep breath in, wiggle your toes and your fingers, giving thanks for this inner journey and coming home to your true self. Namaste. So, I'd like to share one of my spiritual practices that I have re engaged with pretty much daily because I'm feeling uncertain in this time of the pandemic. And what I'd rather feel is that I know and sense at all times this power that is greater than I, that is guiding all things and is actually the goodness that I seek. So, what I do, no matter what task, I first pray for awareness and awakening up so that I can shift my consciousness. And what I want to do as I'm doing my tasks, for example, the floor, is I want to pause and just recognize in that moment, gosh, I am grateful for my muscles and my bones that are allowing me to do this work. I am so sore at night and I catch myself moaning and grouchy about it. And then I stop and say, wait a minute, this is good. I actually use some muscles in a different way. And so I give thanks for that as well. It sounds simple, and it is, and yet it helps me so much to be in a consciousness of positivity and gratitude rather than uh, anxiousness or worry. So, with that, I just invite you to try it sometime. You're probably already doing it. So, thank you. Namaste. So, let us enter into prayer now, this sacred pause before service. And what I do is I recognize the power, the one presence, the one life that is living all things, all people. I know it is love. It is infinite peace. It is divine order. Spirit, this one life, one mind, is love. It is peace. Spirit is the all. So I welcome the message of Spirit this morning with an open heart, knowing that we are one in spirit, all of us. And I give thanks for our guest speaker this morning, Jeff Schlicht, our practitioner at large, knowing that Spirit has spoken through him and that he gives us this beautiful message of coming home. So I am grateful, and I just let my prayer be now. And so it is. Amen. So I'd like to invite Kong back up with some music for the soul this morning. Good morning, Kong. Oh, it's Debbie Ann.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome up.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm here to read announcements, but I don't see them up yet. So here we go. Happy Sunday, Namaste. It's wonderful to be with you today. We're going to read together who we are. So if you would read it with me. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you, which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. And also we are going to read our mission together. And I think of the mission is almost like a personal course correction for me. So anytime I feel a little off course, I can just tap into this and gets me right back on track. So let's read this together. I learn practical science of mind tools and practice in a loving, connective, and vibrant community to reveal my power and change my life. And definitely hashtag this stuff works. And our power statement, we are a thriving, dynamic, spiritual community. So we are. Namaste. Also coming up is our happy hour. Join us for some connection. This is always fun no matter what activity is going on. It's informative and it's a way to connect with all of our community at Namasté. And this is every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Next, our beloved Joanne Bourgeois. I'm going to have a celebration live. There's going to be more details to follow, but it's scheduled for August 13th on Zoom. So join us, please, when we honor Joanne. Membership class coming in September. We don't have the dates yet. It's a 2-class process. And for any information or to sign up, please email Stephanie. And her email is in the slide, is on the slide there. Choir rehearsal. Okay, so every Thursday, 6 p.m. on Zoom, under the direction of Alan Arnett. Bring your beautiful singing voice and just join in community with the choir. Any information, you can email Marilee or Julie Bathke. Metaphysical Bible. Okay, this class, we've already had one class last Monday. It's super fun. Lots of people in the class. And it's just really taking a look at a different spin on the Bible and scripture. It's really interesting. So it's not only metaphysical, it's metaphorical. So come join us. It's going to be very interesting and a lot of fun. And practitioner training is coming soon. Learn all about the power of intention, choice, and being. Class is going to start in October, and it's going to be. The first year is all about you and learning about yourself. So even if you don't have the intention at that time of becoming a practitioner, it's really good to kind of delve into what's going on with you personally. So if you have any information, we ask you to email Reverend Bobby. And our daily prayer call. This is it's wonderful. I don't know if everybody has experienced it yet, but I highly recommend it. Our practitioners offer prayer daily at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, and they're just going to basically do what they do best as practitioners, and that is to reveal what already is. So anytime you want to receive prayer, go ahead and join. You can join by phone only, or you can join on Zoom.
Hi, Debbie Ann. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a great day. Job well done. So, as you can see, Tom missed his song. He is having some technical difficulties. So, I am going to just step in and introduce our speaker today. Jeff Schlick. He is a licensed practitioner here at Namasté. He also is the chaplain in Sedona. Jeff was a licensed practitioner here since 2003. Many of you know him. Many of you may not have had the opportunity to get to spend time with him here, but he is a powerhouse. He has been my mentor. He taught Joanne, with Joanne in my practitioner's one class, and I couldn't be more thrilled to have the opportunity to be a I've also had the opportunity to be supporting him through his minister support. This feels like a huge gift. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring Jeff up, allow you to get to hear his words of wisdom. Enjoy.
Hi.
Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. How are you?
I am so happy to have you on this morning. I'm excited to hear what you're going to share, and I'm just going to step away and let you have it.
Okay. Yeah, I bet you will. Okay, honey, thank you. Good morning, Namaste. It has been over 4 years before I was been able to stand on any podium or address each of you in this way. And anytime that I always did, I would stand before you, and whether I knew you or not, I would say I love you. And I do that to start with that today. Um, our talk title today is Coming Home. But what I want to talk about first is to switch it around and call it homecoming, because that's what this is to me. Um, and Candace so beautifully said in her practices in regards to the pandemic and so forth, what I have come to find out in coming back to homecoming is with the challenges and the perception of distancing and staying at home and isolation and coverings, whether it be a mask or the glass dividers in the stores that perceive separation. And it has allowed me to reconnect with Namasté Center for Spiritual Living. As Nikki said, my license is anchored there. I've been a member there for a very long time. And when the pandemic came in, I've had a closer relationship in the last 4 years, in the last 3 months, with your meetings. I watch you online when I was home for a month, and that was great. But to actually be on Zoom and to interface and interact, and to go to the practitioner meetings, this absolute beautiful core group of people that support Namaste each and every conscious moment. And this opportunity to actually stand before you, and whether I know you or not, I just want to say I love you. It is a greater realization in this form of pandemic that there is no space or distance or separation, and that which is God, and that is our truth. And that leads me to turning the title back around and what I want to speak to today, and that is coming home. And even though that Candace has stepped into a beautiful meditation and setting the place, what I truly like to do is just take 2 seconds here and center. And if you just indulge me, wherever you are, coming into your living rooms or on your phone or wherever it is, that we just close our outer eyes and open our inner eye, and we just take a breath. Because it's this activity that our breath forms a path within ourselves. And as we follow it within, for myself, it's where I sit and talk with God. And in reality, in my mind, in my body, my spirit, it's a way of coming home that I get to do at any point and any time during my day. And as we take a breath and come back up that path, I don't want to elongate that, but just have an example that we get to interact and actually have a physical activity of the truest meaning of coming home. So what comes to mind as I put this talk together is a childhood movie I absolutely adore. And of course, the child in me today still loves it. And that is The Wizard of Oz. And so I'd say 99% of the people in the world have familiar with the story, The Wizard of Oz. And for those that are, I'm going to give a 2-minute refresher. And those that aren't, please listen carefully. Poor Mr. Mayer of MGM, who put the movie out, is going to roll in his grave. And I promise I will not sing any songs. That is not my work. That is Kong's. So here's the story in 2 minutes or less. And that is, we have a main character. Her name is Dorothy. Dorothy has a little dog, Toto. She lives at home with her aunt and uncle in Kansas and her 3 farmhands. Dorothy, with her little dog, chooses to run away from home. Well, what does she run into? She runs into a storm, a tornado, a twister. So she comes back home where she's safe. And her aunt, her uncle, the 3 farmhands, at this point, because the tornado is coming upon the house, have moved into the storm cellar. And so Dorothy, because she can't get into the storm cellar, she runs into the house, her home, and she runs into her bedroom where she feels safest. Well, now the tornado has come upon them, and it come upon the house. And actually, she's looking out the window, and the windowsill flies off and smacks her in the head. And she falls onto her bed in a dream state. And she wakes up within the dream, and now the house is up in the tornado, magically transporting the whole house and her to a magical land called Oz. Now, all of a sudden, the house gets thrown out of the tornado down into Oz and actually hits the Wicked Witch of the East, kills her. So Dorothy, now the house has landed, she comes out to the front door and opens it up. And this is really magical in the film, where it's black and white and then all of a sudden turns into this absolutely beautiful color. And a few steps in, she's looking around and she goes, Toto, we are not in Kansas anymore. And in the first few minutes of the film, she meets the Munchkins, little people. She meets a good witch, she meets a bad witch. And magically, these red, beautiful shoes, these ruby slippers that were on the Wicked Witch of the East, transformed on Dorothy's feet. And the Wicked Witch of the West noticed this. And she goes, little girl, give me those shoes. You don't know the power that those shoes have, but I do. And Glinda, the good witch, says, be off with you. You have no powers here. You better leave before a house falls on you. And the witch looks around and she disappears. And all Dorothy wants right now, with all of this commotion, is to go home. And Glinda, in her motherly way, sends her on her path and sends her on a journey, which happens to be a yellow brick road. And she goes off on her journey. And on her journey, she meets a few more characters. In fact, 3 to be particular. She meets a scarecrow that wants a brain. She meets a tin man that wants a heart. And she meets a cowardly lion that only wants courage. And she invites each of them because she's been told that this great Wizard of Oz in the Emerald City can give them exactly what they want. So they're off and they're on their journey. And they get to Oz. They meet with Oz. Now, the Wizard of Oz makes them go through a bunch of hoops in order to attain what they want. And in the process, they melt a witch with a bucket of water. And they go back, and each and every one of them get exactly what they want, except Dorothy. Dorothy wants to go home. The Wizard of Oz is going to take her there in his own balloon. And the balloon takes off without Dorothy. And Dorothy's going, oh my God, all I want to come home. So in comes Glinda, the good witch of the North. And Dorothy goes, I just want to go home. And Glinda, this is really important. Glinda goes to her. You could have gone home at any time you wanted. All you had to do was click those shoes together. And Dorothy snaps her neck over and goes, what do you mean? Why didn't you tell me this at the beginning? And Glinda says to her, would you have remembered, or would you have believed me if I told you that from the beginning? And Dorothy goes, no, probably not. So Dorothy clicks her heels. She goes home and everybody lives happily ever after. Now, after that rendition, you probably thought, oh my God, Jeff's moved to Sedona. He's been in one too many vortexes and his cheese has certainly slipped off his cracker. But it really has a deep meaning to each of our lives. So let's see how that pertains to our life. And that as Dorothy, she started at home. And I want to go to our births because Ernest Holmes says it creates out of itself. And that our very soul, this home with a capital H that is equivalent to God, it's our center, our core, is infinite and eternal. It has no beginning and no ending, just like God. So before we incarnate and come into form, we are only in the knowingness that God is. So therefore, just like Dorothy, we start off at home. And on our way in, we don't get smacked in the head with a windowsill, but we do go into a dream state. Ernest Holmes talks about this condition and this experience that we walk in as reality with a small r. Capital R being that reality that is our home, that is equivalent to God. A Course in Miracles refers to this condition and experience that we walk in each and every day as an illusion. So we don't take a tornado into this world, but we come through the womb and we come out. And I would have to say, if we could speak at our birth, that we would utter those same words that Dorothy did. And that is, Toto, I do not think we are in Kansas anymore. Now, probably we don't run into munchkins and maybe a good witch or a bad witch, but we are certainly, in a maternal way, sent on our journey, sent on our path. And along our path, you know, we meet a cast of characters ourselves, and maybe we are one ourselves. You know, Deborah Bongard last week, in her beautiful talk, she talked about core issues. And I want to just pause on that, because as we step through our journey, we gather those for ourselves. Core issues are our beliefs. They're another story that we tell ourselves that a long time ago, usually as a child, we've had an experience. And that experience, I've gathered feelings around. And from those feelings, I've created a belief. And those beliefs I've put within myself right here. This is another home. This is our physical home. And those beliefs I've put in here, one amongst the other. Now, the thing with the beliefs is those things that I have stored here, it's how I see and know the world to be. But it even becomes more dense, because how I see and know the world is how I step and move in the world. You know, that is part of our journey. In fact, these core issues, it's almost like an invisible garment that, you know, I've decided to put on, because I call it an invisible garden, because a garment, because it is like a ghost. The experiences that we've had were way back then, and they are a ghost. They don't exist. What I've chosen to carry forward of this garment that I wear are those beliefs. So I walk with them in how I interact with the world. And they're just strictly a story. These beliefs, this is my home, this is my center and my core. The core beliefs are stories. And I'm stepping off. In a sense, I'm running away from home, because there's stories I've made up about me that are not the truth. They are not the truth. You know, and we always ask, well, how can we fix this? Well, first of all, you're not broken. You're whole and complete. You can never be broken. That is the spiritual truth of who you are. We can certainly step through things where we feel crushed and we absolutely feel broken. But that is not our spiritual truth. That is our home. That is our joy, our love, our peace, our power. We can't necessarily just throw a bucket of water on these core issues. They don't melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. I have to do the work. You know, I tell my clients, this is not a Staples commercial. There's no easy button in sight, okay? So we need to go within. You know, these core issues, I call them wet knots. I don't know if you've ever gone hiking and your shoes have gotten wet, or you've crossed the street and it's been raining and you step in a puddle, but you come home to get your shoes off to untie them. And wet knots are awful. You know, you get mad and you struggle and you hold your breath, and a thought might come through your mind that you'll go get some scissors. And then you take a breath. And anytime when we take that breath, we come home. We come home, and then we take a breath, and I start to wiggle. I start to wiggle at that knot. And then it becomes free. And those particular issues and those roots of that experience, to untie those beliefs, that story that I've made about myself and how I am or am not really walking in the world to my fullest and truest individualized expression of God. Because that's what we're here for, isn't it? That's what we're here for. Now, I want to talk about Dorothy's shoes for just a minute. You know, I love this part. You know, when the shoes get magically, at the very beginning of the movie, put on Dorothy. She had no say-so in it. And, you know, the Wicked Witch is going, you know, you don't know the power these shoes have. Only I know the power. Well, it's really amazing. You know, we have 7 energy points in our body. You know, they're called chakras. And the first one, the lowest one, is red. It's our root chakra. It is the power that we stand in. Judy Garland, Dorothy, standing in red shoes. Each and every one of us has that ability. For that power that God is always right here. Always right here. To come to that realization and recognition of that truth of us that can never be taken from us. That's a process of coming home. And it's possible that each and every morning we put our own ruby slippers on, whether they're heels or flats. We put those shoes on. We take a breath, and today I stand in the power that God is, in, as, and through who I am. And with every breath, every step, every activity that I am engaged, that I value the gifts that I am. And in that power that God is, I freely and easily express them. And then at maybe 10:20, we have a train wreck and we caught up in the drama and the outer skirts of that tornado. All we have to do is take a breath, come back home, come back to the center, click those heels, come back to the center, come back home. You know, that is a process. And quite frankly, it's a practice, because I give you as many do-overs as you want each and every day. And they're not do-overs. It is a practice of recognizing the home that is right here. And that home is God. That home is God. Is never away from you. But we create a story, we step aside, and then we come back home. We come back home. And now, where does the witch play? You know, the Wicked Witch says, I know how to use those shoes. I've got the power. Quite frankly, that's our ego. It's our ego squawking at us over here. That ego, all they want to do is they want that power to create more stories about yourself that are not true. Come right over here. Come back. Silence the ego. Know that there is one story of who you are, and that is the truth that God is, in, as, and through you each and every day. And at the very end of the movie, and this is really important, so please listen. And when Dorothy's missed the balloon and she thinks she doesn't have a way home, that Glinda comes in, and Dorothy says, all I want to do is go home. And Glinda says to her, you could have gone home anytime you wanted to. And she looks at her and she goes, well, why didn't you tell me that at the beginning? And the key point is this. Glinda says, you wouldn't have believed me at the beginning of your journey. How does that work in your life? If someone had told you at 5 or 6 or 10, 15, 21, you are always home. You are that which is God. Would you have believed them? Would you have always worn that? It's actually the activity of our life that is a compass and a roadmap of coming home. No, we wouldn't have believed it. I have a saying for myself in very hard times, and it's the activity of my life, no matter what it looks like or feels like, because it doesn't always feel good. The activity of my life is the activity of my highest good, unfolding in God, each and every moment, every breath, every step, every activity that I am engaged. For there is a greater prayer at work, and that greater prayer is God. And we are always of that greater prayer. We are always of that greater prayer. And I just want you to know, you are always whole and complete. You can never be broken. You know, I see people like seeds. You know, we're all our own seeds. There's no two alike. There's no two alike. And your only job is to know that seed and grow into the beautiful plant that sits right here in front of me right now. But sometimes those stories come in, and we need to grow into this plant to meet that expectation. This plant for our family or our friends or our workplace. One of the greatest things for myself is I finally realized I wanted to show up in an uncompartmentalized life. This plant, whatever it is, that I just be it. I reach inside, I know what that seed is, and I grow into this perfect plant because it is that truth that I am that individual expression of God. And the only work that you need to do is to be the best gardener of this plant that's sitting in front of me. For you are blessed. Don't waste who you are and all the gifts that you are. There are no excuses. I don't care how young or old you are. You are that individualized expression of God, and you never have left home. You never left home. So I say to you, wake up, live a conscious life, practice that with standing in your power. Live your life. And as Dorothy didn't know, no matter where you are on your journey, you are always at home. And when in doubt, and when you're caught up in that activity, click those shoes. Come back home. Come back home. And as the movie ends, I'm going to close with the same line. And that line is there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Let's go into prayer, please. And let's take that breath together. And what I truly know is that coming home is always available, because what I know of God is that God is always present, all-knowing, infinite and eternal. So when times are tough for me, I need to go simple. And the simplest thing of God is God is. God is. And it is this truth that I know of God, that is love, that is peace, is that power, is that joy, is that abundance. For it is this truth that is my truth, because back of my life and the very essence of who I am is that which is God. I am home. I am home. Like I said, with every breath, every step, every activity that I am engaged, I am that which is God. And as I am so anchored in this truth of my life, I now speak this truth of your life. Wherever you're sitting, wherever you're at, no matter how far away you are, there is no separation in God. And I just ask right now out loud that you speak whatever prayer that you want. And in this one mind, I will know it and I will hear it. So therefore, right now I speak this word for whatever you are saying and impressing into that law yourself. So I only echo this truth of who you are. And what I truly know is when I pray, a prayer for one is a prayer for all. Only knowing that home that I always stand in is the love God is the peace God is the power God is abundance God is. For my truth is not the activity of my life. My truth is that knowingness of the depth that God is. The wholeness that I never need, like the Tin Man, intelligence. I never need a brain. I don't need a heart. I don't need courage, because in God there is only love. In God there is only enough, because there is no lack. And there is no fear in God. I give thanks for this knowingness. I am grateful that this word, this greater knowingness of who I am, is unfolding right now in my life, right this minute, and always forward moving. And I impress this word, only echoing yours, knowing the truth of who each and every one of us is, into the law. And as we know, that law only says yes, dearest one. Yes. And knowing that this is done, there is nothing else to do, only but to step back and allow this co-creation of God in, as, and through our lives. And with that together, we simply say, and so it is. And so it is. So I'm going to take a breath. And now we go into our giving portion. And what I want to say about giving, and you can give in so many ways to Namasté Center for Spiritual Living. Obviously on Facebook, there is a donate button. And you can go to the website, which is Namasté Centers for Spiritual Living.org, PayPal link on their website, or Venmo. This is the time of our giving. And what I truly want to do is, I see the giving because we are in the oneness that God is. So there is no other. There is no other. So we live in a world of giving and receiving. Therefore, whatever I give, I receive. And one of the greatest things is I remember I give to myself, whether I call it love or the energy that money is. So together, if we just take either our physical giving, and I just ask you to reach deep today and really give from your hearts. And if you enjoyed anything, or if it was purposeful to you at all, just reach deep and nurture the collective community that each and every one of you individuals are. And that collective is called Namasté Center for Spiritual Living. So let's hold that together. And if we can put up our prayer of our giving, and I see the cursor going. And let's hold our prayer here and read it out loud together. Is that I am one with perfect action, abundance, generosity, love, and peace are who I am. I speak my word, and it's manifest through this understanding and this knowingness, this gift that I am, this gift that I give, circulates through this action, through this community, and comes back in divine, infinite way. God bless you. And let's go into our benediction and our prayer. And we can read this together too. And that I release any belief in bondage or limitations as my life.
every part of me moves in perfect harmony and freedom. I cannot be tied, bound, or made inactive, for I am free spirit, and the power of my life is from the one source. There is no inaction or false action. I am completely free. And together we say, and so it is. And so I have to ask our director if Kong is there for our closing song.
Hello, Jeff.
Thank you. You've returned.
I'm back from the abyss. It was very similar to Dorothy. I had to just click my heels and
Nice.
get
That's the way it works.
the Wi-Fi. But thank you for such a wonderful talk and joining with us today, and all the way from Sedona, from tuning in from Sedona.
It is a blessing.
And I love that you brought up A Course of Miracles. I've looked over that book a number of different times in my life, and
yeah,
you know, I think it's a powerful book. So
yeah,
very cool. I had some technical difficulties today, so been waiting to see if Nikki wants me to just do 10 songs in a row to close out today. But I think I'll head right into the song. We've been doing this all month, so please join in with me wherever you are. Walking with the Spirit. I'm walking with the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit, and I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit, and I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing in the Spirit, walking with the Spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations that's leading to some kind of drama or confrontation, I go within, I get plugged in, my friend, before it's too late. I put the Spirit in front of me to make those crooked places straight. I'm walking with the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit, and I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit, and it's growing in the Spirit, and it's showing in the Spirit, walking with the Spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations, and I don't know what to do, and I got no explanation, I go within, I get plugged in for a revelation. 'Cause 10 times out of 9, things will work out fine without my participation. Yeah, I'm walking with the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit, and I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit, and I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing in the Spirit, walking with the Spirit in front of, walking with the Spirit in front of, walking with the Spirit in front of me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much. Great talk today. Really appreciated it. Really
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. You have such heart in your music. I've watched you online, and it's not just music from you. It is coming from your soul, and it's beautiful to watch. So I want to thank you for your music ministry and all you do for Namaste. I want to say thank you to Nikki for being the director, and Candace for that beautiful opening, and Deb Ann for the announcements, and all the board of trustees. And I really want to appreciate Reverend Bobby. Hopefully she's having a very easy and fun day, but appreciate the outreach to to be included. It is a gift and a joy to be back here. And I especially want to thank each person of Namaste that have come here forward. That, as it's been said in the past, for each and every one of you that come forward, you make today different and you make it special. So thank you. Join me on Wednesday morning in our prayer talk if you'd like. And I will see you soon on Zoom. Blessings.